Saturday evening on a hotel rooftop and love is in the air. An up-and-coming band called The Adams is shooting a video of their latest love song, Baby Baby. This Sister Carter's Generation Y, as keen to have fun and be creative as any group of 20-somethings on the globe. Life, for now at least, is one big party. Now, by Western standards, all this looks quite harmless, even tame. But hanging over it all is a proposed anti-pornography bill being pushed by Indonesia's new Islamic parties. A bill that would, in just a few weeks' time, believe it or not, make all this illegal. The bill would outlaw suggestive lyrics, erotic dancing, even public kissing. It would be forbidden for women to show so-called sensual body parts, meaning anything from the neck to the knee. A commercial model like Isabel Yaya could be arrested for wearing a bikini.
Everything that we do is just going to be forbidden, and even whatever you're not free to, express yourself, and I don't know, so it's going to be a very non-growing and worried nation.
More like a Sharia nation than a modern nation.
Yes, correct, yeah.
7 years after the end of the Suharto dictatorship, democracy has unleashed a mass movement for Sharia law. These Islamist groups are at the forefront of a campaign to end what they see as Western decadence. The sins are lumped together under the banner of pornography. The most vocal and violent anti-pornography group is the Islamic Defenders Front, known by its Indonesian acronym FPI. Its leader, Habib Razik, believes he's on a mission from God.
Memiliki akar budaya yang luhur. Tapi belakangan ini, keluhuran budaya Indonesia itu mulai pudar dan sirna karena serangan berbagai macam budaya asing yang masuk ke Indonesia. Sehingga saat ini Indonesia menjadi tidak lagi bermoral. Bahkan saat ini Indonesia jauh lebih porno daripada negara barat sendiri. Ayo sayang, ayo sayang. Ayo kamu minum teh manis.
Mr. Habib represents what many Indonesians see as an alien form of Islam. Trained in Saudi Arabia, he's an advocate of the strict Wahhabi sect, rooted in Middle Eastern custom and belief that the mosque should rule the state.
Islam melarang mencuri, Islam melarang korupsi, Islam melarang perzinahan, Islam melarang minuman keras, Islam melarang penipuan, Islam melarang berbagai macam perbuatan-perbuatan yang jahat. Nah, kalau umat Islam mematuhi aturan ini dengan baik, mereka akan menjadi orang yang bermoral, maka minoritas semua akan aman.
To an outsider, Indonesia doesn't appear to have much of a problem with pornography or immoral behaviour. It's a relatively conservative and family-oriented society that already has strict rules on obscenity. Its so-called men's magazines show less flesh than Western women's magazines. In Indonesia, you really do read Playboy for the articles. The publication has a smattering of lingerie and cleavage, but absolutely no nudity. But even the lack of sex couldn't stop the violence of the FBI.
Ratusan anggota Front Pembela Islam hari ini mendatangi kantor majalah Playboy yang terletak di Jalan TB Simatupang, Jakarta Selatan.
The FBI greeted the new publication with a rock-throwing protest that left the office in ruins. Playboy retreated to the Hindu island of Bali to start again.
Tapi manakala pemerintah dan aparat penegak hukum tidak menegakkan hukum, maka apa mau dikata, terpaksa FPI melakukan aksi. Jadi apa yang Anda lihat, FPI mecahin kaca dan lain sebagainya, itu hanya merupakan reaksi logis daripada suatu komunikasi yang tersumbat.
Surprisingly, the FBI doesn't act against far more obvious targets. Every night, clubs in Jakarta's entertainment districts openly host prostitution for rich businessmen and expatriates without any trouble from the Islamist groups. The pornography issue isn't just a source of power for the radical Islamists, there's strong evidence it's also a source of money. We've heard repeated claims that clubs, bars, entertainers, magazines will be told they'll stop the protests if they make them large monthly payments. In other words, this moral jihad has a nice little sideline in extortion. Inul Daratista is one of the few entertainers prepared to speak out about extortion demands. She's Indonesia's most popular singer of dangdut, a fusion of Arabic and Southeast Asian pop which Islamists denounce as pornographic. These days she can only sing in private. Protesters have managed to force cancellations at every venue where she's been booked to perform.
Karena saya juga nggak tahu kenapa saya jadi ikon pun aksi dan pornografi sebagai simbol seks, sedangkan saya sendiri telanjang di muka umum atau pakai baju yang sedikit seksi aja, saya rasa saya tidak pernah gitu. Sampai sekarang sih saya belum apa ya, saya masih sedih, masih belum bisa menerima keadaan kalau saya jadi image yang sangat jelek sekali itu sampai sekarang saya nggak bisa terima. Jadi saya mohon maaf kalau saya menangis.
As well as singing, Inul runs a chain of profitable karaoke bars. She says one of the protesting groups, which she declines to name, made her lawyers an offer it thought she couldn't refuse.
Saya belum menghadapi sendiri dan saya nggak tahu mereka minta uang berapa kemarin gitu. Dari orang saya sendiri minta bahwa harus ada jatah tiap bulan, cuman itu aja. Berapa besarnya, berapa banyaknya saya nggak tahu dan saya nggak perlu tanya itu karena saya juga sudah dari awal menolak gitu untuk tidak mau bayar mereka.
Habib Razik insists the FBI would never stoop so low.
Itu hanya anggapan dan itu tidak pernah ada bukti di lapangan. Kalau FBI mau cari uang dari uang-uang haram macam itu, uang-uang kotor macam itu, saya tidak ngontrak lagi saya punya rumah. Dan saya tidak tinggal di gang yang sempit macam ini. Saya mungkin sudah tinggal di Pondok Indah atau mungkin di Beverly Hills. Kita sudah punya rumah mewah.
It would certainly be cause for concern if the FBI were getting such illicit funding. Like the young men he's training to be the FBI's foot soldiers, Habib Razik is an unabashed supporter of Saudi Arabia's #1 fugitive.
Usama bin Laden bagi umat Islam adalah pejuang. Dia bukan teroris seperti yang dituduhkan oleh Barat. Yang teroris itu adalah Gus Bush, John Howard, Tony Blair.
While the FBI's tactics are at the radical fringe of Indonesian society, its politics are increasingly at the centre.
Yang saya hormati pimpinan
Islamic-oriented parties now hold nearly a third of the seats in the national parliament. One of their priorities has been drafting a so-called anti-pornography bill to regulate personal behaviour as well as commercial publication.
puji syukur kehadirat Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa.
Yoyo Yusro, a mother of 13 from the Islamic PKS party, says it's exactly what the people want.
Saya tidak di parlemen sendiri ya, teman-teman dari praksi-praksi itu mayoritas mendukung. Lebih dari 70% mendukung rancangan undang-undang ini ya.
Concerns that such radical proposals could actually become law have galvanized the secular face of Indonesian society. Leading feminists like Dr Gardis Aviva have found themselves in the odd position of campaigning against an anti-pornography bill.
Because they call it the anti-pornographic bill, most common people think it is about regulating pornography. And we do have a problem about all these DVD and illegal VCDs and all that. But when you look at the articles in the bill, it's nothing about regulating these pornographic materials. They're trying to push Indonesians to be conservative. They're trying to push women to wear, they say, decent clothes, but what does decent clothes mean? It means to cover themselves.
Like most of these protesters, Dr Ariva is a practicing Muslim, but her interpretation of Islam is far more liberal than the Wahhabis.
We are a very moderate Muslim country. We have a very different tradition of Muslim. It's very Indonesian Muslim, meaning it is not, we have never have a history of adopting Arabic culture.
Some proponents of the new rules claim they're the real feminists, protecting women from being treated as sex objects.
Sebetulnya tidak boleh terlalu khawatir ya dengan adanya rancangan undang-undang ini, karena ini juga dalam rangka untuk membuat meninggikan martabat ya. Dan saya pikir ketika misalnya kaum perempuan tidak menggunakan pakaian yang sopan ya, ini juga ada implikasi pada pergaulan yang lain. Jadi misalnya konsentrasi belajar dari lawan jenisnya tidak lagi kuat.
Much of Indonesia's business community has reacted in horror to the idea tourists could be arrested for wearing bikinis. Politicians in Bali even threatened to secede. Indonesia's Vice President, Yusuf Kala, has promised the final draft will not include extreme proposals.
I am sure, I'm chairman of the party, that majority should be make allow they're very moderate, not very restricted about the pornography.
But the pornography debate has already put a chill through Indonesia's artistic community.
Yang pertama, ini karena baju yang putih kena Balenciaga.
Last September, the model Isabel Yaya agreed to pose nude for an installation her friend Davi Lingga was mounting for Jakarta's Biennale. In deference to local sensibilities, he covered the photos with circles. The last thing they expected was trouble from Islamic groups.
I mean, I'm myself Muslim. I don't feel that they are representing my religion at all.
But as a Muslim, do you feel it's okay to pose nude?
Well, yes. I mean, I would call myself a naturalist, actually. Because I'm not doing it out of pornography or whatsoever, and I wasn't showing parts that wasn't supposed to be shown. I'm still Indonesian.
250 FBI members stormed the exhibition in protest. Rather than acting against the FBI, police hauled in Isabel and Davi for interrogation. The Biennale agreed to take down the installation.
They were scared of the pressure, they were scared of this organization going to destroy the other stuff or maybe other installation or whatsoever.
Sharia-style laws are already creeping into towns and cities across the nation.
Ada beberapa kegiatan yang akan kita laksanakan bersama.
Since December, police in Tangerang, next to Jakarta, have been enforcing what they call a new moral code. In effect, it means arresting any woman they suspect of being a prostitute and seizing any alcohol they can find. The patrol chief, Ahmad Lufti, denies it has anything to do with Sharia and says great care is taken before any woman is arrested.
Bukan hanya soal bajunya yang prinsip, tapi perilaku dia. Sebab belum tentu seksi itu pelacur.
That wasn't the experience of Lilis Lindawati, a pregnant mother of two who was arrested at 8 p.m. while waiting at a bus stop on her way home from work.
Terus sampai saya berontak, sampai saya nanya, Pak, saya itu bukan PSK, Pak, saya itu ibu rumah tangga, Pak, saya punya suami, saya punya anak 2, Pak, saya pulang kerja, kenapa Bapak nangkap saya masih sore, katanya nggak ada undang-undangnya. Saya bilang gitu, ya nangkap sore-sore.
Saudara mengaku sebagai seorang laki-laki.
She was then tried at an open-air court and sentenced to 3 nights in jail.
Nah, tas saya diperiksa ya Mbak ya, pasti tas diperiksa. Nah, kalau dari rumah memang suka siap, saya suka bawa memang. Nah, waktu itu ditanya sama hakimnya, bilang, kok ini bawa bedak, bawa lipstik Pak? Bu, iya memang saya suka bawa bedak lipstik Pak. Memangnya kenapa Pak? Saya kan perempuan, wajar Pak.
She soon miscarried amid the stress of being falsely convicted. She also lost her job. Her husband, a local school teacher, has faced public ridicule.
Rasa ini kayaknya masih ada sampai saat ini gitu, rasa kesalnya, rasa ini. Nah, efek lainnya ya ini mau keluar aja kan kayak ketakutan ini.
Kesok jadi trauma dah, saya nggak jadi mau ke Tangerangnya takut itu trauma.
The campaign to ban alcohol and prostitution has caught the imagination of other local leaders. Representatives of 22 districts have so far visited Tangerang for advice on implementing similar bans.
I'm very concerned. It's very alarming. And there's lots of laws saying that, local laws saying that women should cover themselves and so forth. So they're still doing it, getting away with it because the government really does not intervene.
Modern Indonesia was built on a secular constitution, rooted in the concept of unity in diversity. But the morality issue has put the national government in an awkward position, trying not to alienate religious parties and their supporters, while not wishing Indonesia to appear backward or extremist.
Many laws influenced by Islam, the same as many laws in Philippines influenced by Catholics, many laws in Europe influenced by Christians. It is normal everywhere.
There's no doubt the more radical Islamists want Sharia law imposed across the country and see the Anti-Pornography Bill as a step in that direction. The world's largest Muslim nation is approaching a turning point, to be a country with an open and free culture, or one free of what some see as Western decadence.